When he first became a millionaire, he didn't buy luxury cars or mansions. In the eyes of many New York fans, he is a villain in the NBA, but he has helped 570 families in need with his kindness. His name is Trae Young, the NBA player most hated by New York Knicks fans. One day in 2020, a patient's family received a letter from a medical debt company. The content of the letter told them that all medical debts had been paid off. The patient's mother held the letter in her hand and cried for 5 minutes. At first she thought it was just a scam. How could someone help a stranger and pay off a large debt? She urgently called the debt company to confirm the matter, told the children the ins and outs of the matter, and after repeated confirmation, she finally believed that her family's medical debts had been paid off. The repayer was an NBA player named Trae Young. Trae Young was born into a family of basketball players. His father, Rayford Young, once played for Texas Tech University, but failed to make it to the NBA after graduation. Influenced by his father, Trae Young started playing basketball at the age of 3 and showed his love for basketball. But when Trae Young was 10 years old, his father was busy playing abroad, so he became a left-behind child in the local area. The only person who accompanied him to watch him practice was his elderly grandfather. But 2 years later, his grandfather was unfortunately seriously ill. Because he could not pay the huge medical expenses, his grandfather eventually passed away, and the family also owed a medical debt. From then on, Trae Young was determined to make a name for himself. Rayford Young also hoped that his son could surpass his own achievements, and after returning to his family, he began to concentrate on training his son. So at 5 a.m. every day, his father took Trae Young to the YMCA school of the Christian church to complete 500 shots before class. After get off work, he took his son to training again. He picked up his son and took him to the gym for training. During training, Rayford Young often held a broom and imitated a tall defensive player in front of Trae Young to let him practice shooting. Because of his lack of height, his father taught him the skills of a small player, how to make a crotch pass in front of a big player, and how to use a sudden stop in a small space to earn a foul. This way of playing has also been criticized by many public opinions. Since Trae Young was in 7th grade, he was often criticized by some older adults on the sidelines, and the audience always used words to irritate him. But he was extremely confident and responded to the audience's doubts and dissatisfaction with his outstanding performance on the court. In the playoffs against the Knicks that year, Trae Young became the most hated villain in New York. Fans would give him a special welcome before the game, spit at him during the game, and even the mayor of New York personally sent him greetings. But Trae Young enjoyed it, and the fans' trash talk made him excited. In Game 5 of the first-round series between the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks in the 2021 NBA playoffs, Trae Young stood at midcourt, bowed to the fans amid boos, and waved goodbye to the Knicks fans. Although he was a villain hated by Knicks fans on the court, Trae Young off the court was keen on charity. He also donated $4 million toward the creation of this 122,000 square foot, multi-purpose sports facility to his hometown of Norman, Oklahoma. The center includes basketball and volleyball courts, an aquatics center, and a sports and human performance center. Because he didn't have enough money, he chose to pay in batches. You know, at that time, it was only Trae Young's second season in the NBA. After deducting various taxes, the salary he received was only about $3 million. But Trae Young wanted to do much more than that. After renewing his contract with the Hawks, he began to work with a non-profit organization called RIP Medical Debt. 570 families in the Atlanta area owe more than $1 million in medical debt. Trae Young worked with RIP Medical Debt, a non-profit organization, to eliminate these overdue medical debts. In addition to these, whenever there are holidays, Trae Young will go to Atlanta to give back to the community, give gifts to children, take them to the supermarket, etc. Someone asked him why he did this, and Trae Young said that when he saw Russell Westbrook return to Oklahoma, the whole city cheered for Westbrook. If possible, he also wants to have such a scene in Atlanta,